So, this is the next local full tries video, and honestly, after last time, I am... Low battery is saying something. After how long it took to do the wood painting and the design, which I love it turned out so well, I'm so happy that it turned out the way I wanted it, but it says, whoo, I maybe want to do something a little bit easier this time. So I'm looking around on Pinterest, Instagram, and there's something I've been wanting to try for a while, which is painting on book pages. But I'm also a coward who likes books, and I don't want to actually potentially ruin any of my things. Given that this is the middle of the pandemic and I have no access to a printer or a scanner, there's tier ones I could use, but not for artwork, and then I'd have to print it on printer paper, which is no. I went and had a look in my drawers of wonder, which are my art supplies, and I went and found one of my vintage paper sets, which on one side just looks like this, which is not what I want, but on the other side has, and you can see the pencil sketch I've already done on here, I will show that later. That's my non-spoiler hand of non-spoilerness. You can see it's covered in little bits of old text, focus, camera, and on it words and titles like memory and curiosity and amusement, and I thought it was cute, which is basically where we're sitting today. And given I've wanted to do some ink wash for a while, I will be sitting down for a really nice, really simple little painting today, and I hope you all enjoy that with me. Let's do it. For this local full try, especially given how complicated the previous ones were, it was really nice to just go back to basics. I used to do ink wash quite a lot, and I'm quite confident in it, and I was just so glad to be able to just dab on water, dab on ink, and let things flow as the water directed it. It was such a nice, relaxing exercise. The local full tries portion of this one comes to painting on a pre-existing background. I've only ever painted on plain white or brown paper, and to have the book print behind it was really nice and quite difficult actually. The different texture of the writing affected the negative space I'd be using to create the little scene inside the Reaper Man's cloak. I think it turned out very well. I think choosing not to fill in the areas of bone with white was the better idea, and just to let the paper do the work for me. But in my haste to work on a already patterned paper, I forgot that some papers are not necessarily very compatible with water and any paints or inks that would use a lot of water in this painting. So it did warp and it did buckle, which I should have expected honestly, given that it's not a watercolour grade paper. So a lot of the ink and water that I was using did pool a little bit, and I had to fight against it. And I was also very conscious of the fact that the paper underneath would not hold up if I did repeated strong brush strokes. It would start peeling away under the motions of the bristles, so I had to be really careful and go really lightly in my application. That being said, one thing I did want to get right was the implication of moonlight in the little scene inside the cloak. I tried to make it so I left the moon blank, but I wanted the effects of light on the clouds around in the home. I always struggle with clouds, they're so formless, it's like painting water almost. So I just basically had to dab it on and hope for the best. I didn't want them bright, so I was pretty glad that the ink I'm using is very dilute and just ended up being a washed out grey against the back of the cloak. I was going for that subtle approach and was very pleased with it turned out. I think it turned out really well, and I'm really happy with this cute little scene. Initially this was going to be on actual book pages, by the way, but I cowered it out. I didn't want to potentially damage any of the books I own, and getting a book just for the purpose to paint in it seemed a bit intimidating for me, and I've also heard of copyright issues depending on what kind of book you're painting on, and I didn't have any dictionaries to hand. So, that being said, I hope you enjoyed this little local full tries this month. Next month, I think I'll be trying something a bit more ambitious, maybe some wearable art, we shall see. Anyways, like and subscribe, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye and thank you.